Hi, so very glad you're able to make it here today. Let's delve right into this flaming topic. The question I want to address right away is, who is Apollo Nida? With the help of a very reputable source, I will break down Mr. Nida's past, current situation, and other issues that I find relevant to this platform. Now, Apollo Nida was the husband of Phaedra Parks. She was one of the top personalities on the reality show The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, a few years ago, he had received an 8-year sentence by a federal court judge for his 4-year scheme involving bank, mail, and wire fraud and ID theft of more than 50 persons to the tune of approximately $2 million. He did cooperate with authorities, which helped him reduce his sentence. Now, what I found quite interesting was that Apollo Nida's attorney, named Thomas Bever at that time, tried to get a sentence reduced for Nida just due to Nida's poor upbringing. But Judge Pennell didn't feel like it was a big enough factor given Nida's age, which at the time was age 35. So Judge Pennell did recommend that Nida be placed in a prison close to his home because Nida does have 2 young children, 2 boys actually, with his ex-wife. When Nida was in front of the judge, he actually apologized for his behavior, and he also stated he wants to apologize to the victims, and he also wants to apologize to his family for letting them down. Let's go a little bit back into Nida's history here. Nida was in prison for 6 years before this sentencing. So from 2003 to 2009, he actually was arrested and charged for racketeering related to car theft scheme. He began his white-collar criminal behavior right after he got out of prison in 2009, of which he took full responsibility for his actions, and he said that he did it because he felt the pressure to make money and to keep his high-profile wife, who at the time was Miss Phaedra Parks, like I said, from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, who was also an attorney. And he also alluded to the fact that given his background and finding a legitimate job was a challenge for him. So to bolster up the case, Nida's tough childhood was brought up by his attorney and Apollo Nida's half-brother Michael Derrick and his mom Katrina Tuhey was brought forth to speak on his behalf in the case. Nida's mom, Katrina, she tearfully admitted that she was not a good mother and that she was addicted to drugs. She said that Nida saw her not only get beaten up by a boyfriend, but also saw her overdose on cocaine. Nida was largely raised by friends and family members and didn't have any real parental figures, according to his lawyer. Nida dropped out of high school and got caught up in car theft rings that led him to prison the first time around. According to Nida's half-brother, he's not a villain, he's a human being, he has a heart. Nida opened a fake debt collection agency. He did this to gain access to databases full of individuals' personal information. He stole identities and found unclaimed funds, refunds from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, stolen U.S. Treasury checks, and refunds from fraudulent U.S. income tax returns. Nida also had a woman named Gail St. Julian open UPS mailboxes and bank checking accounts using those fake identities, deposit those checks, and then pocket that money. Later, he created fake auto dealerships and then got auto loans for phantom cars. The Secret Service caught up with this woman, St. Julian. She led him directly to Nida. His laptop and phone were confiscated. And this is how the government got most of the information against him. So there you have it. I will leave all the sources below. You know, he has a criminal background and he has family members who are willing to vouch for him, family members who I consider enablers. You know, he had multiple opportunities to turn his life around. He even married a very successful Atlanta attorney, yet he continued his criminal and fraudulent activities. Now, as you may know, or may need to be informed, that sociopaths are generally con men, men who engage in fraudulent activities. They are apt at being charming, being persuasive, influential, convincing others to give them personal information, their private backgrounds, and even just in general conversation. That's their key. Conversation is their key. On top of that, convincing, persuading, and controlling, manipulating their accomplices is part of their mastery. They are champions at just, getting everyone wrapped up into their lives, into their world. And it's just who they are. That's their personality. They're addicted to that lifestyle, to the gain, to persuasion. They're addicted to that rush of getting others to do what they want them to do, to have that puppeteer control over everybody around them. Now, right before divorcing his ex-wife, Phaedra Parks, he was involved in a relationship with a woman. Now, before divorcing his wife of a few years, Phaedra Park, Apollo was involved with another woman by the name of Shireen Mufti. Now, she's of mixed heritage, according to online sources. Now, I'm suspecting that she was his brand new supply because he was on the verge of breaking up with this high profile attorney in Atlanta. He also proposed to Miss Al Mufti before he even finalized his divorce from Miss Parks. So, that's a huge, huge flaming red flag right there. And ironically, he did not propose to her with an actual diamond ring. At the time that he was devaluing his soon to be ex wife, about to discard her, he's also preparing to serve his 8-year prison sentence and also trying to have Miss Amufi, get on board his train, which she happily obliged. She made an appearance on one of the reality shows that he became a part of based on his ex-wife Miss Park's platform. And then Miss Mufti also became somewhat popular, somewhat of a celebrity. She was aired on a show called Say Yes to the Dress, based on Mr. Naida's proposal to her, based on their engagement prior to the actual finalization of his most recent divorce. There are pictures and videos that actually show that, she's wearing like a paper towel ring. Some pictures show she's not wearing a ring at all, even during the time she would visit him in prison. But it does appear that she has strong, strong affections for him. According to a recent article, now you must hear this part because it's all a 360, it's all connected. According to a recent article, Apollo Naida was released to a halfway house after serving just most of his 8-year prison sentence. The halfway house is in Philadelphia. Apollo Naida was released to a halfway house in Philadelphia after only serving 5 years of his 8-year sentence for bank fraud and identity theft. But apparently Apollo Naida is back behind bars as you are watching this video. So reports are saying that Apollo Naida broke technical requirements in his probation and was rearrested, taken into custody. Now Apollo may be held until his original release date of October 15th, 2019. All right, so there you have it. He had been rearrested. Now, in this video, I'll attempt to maybe show why Mr. Apollo was rearrested, the suspicion as to why he may have been rearrested. So you're going to have to stay tuned for that information, but coming up next, you will be inundated with clips that are directly connected to what I'm talking about right now in this video, and I'll try to help break them down to you. Now, in this clip, you will witness Mr. Snyder becoming enrageful. He has been requested to report to serve his 8-year sentence for fraud and identity theft. And the people you will see in the clip is one, his wife at the time, Phaedra Parks. I think it's also her publicist or assistant there with her. And as you watch the clip, you'll see where that's something that's done for the safety of the occupant. It goes against what he wants, what he prefers. He feels injured emotionally by what's happening, by the fact that he has to take accountability, leave the home. Miss Parks is now the primary occupant of the home with their small children, and he is just not at all, as you would see, happy with those conditions and those facts.
Oh, hold up. Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy. Why would y'all do that to me? Here's your garage opener.
Thank you.
Why would you lock me out of my own house?
What are you talking about, Apollo? Changing the garage door openers?
That means I don't have access to my garage.
Well, you weren't supposed to be here, so I didn't know who you left it with. You're supposed to be reporting to prison today. I don't know what's going on with him. I think we need to call the police over here. Not yet. Not yet. We'll see.
Who would do some low-down like that? That is insane. Hey, my clothes, can you please make sure that they get in my drawer?
What clothes?
My clothes in the laundry room.
What clothes? I
Oh,
don't.
your boyfriend has clothes here.
Oh, okay. What is he talking about? I don't know.
Locks, too. Oh, my God. Y'all changing the locks? Don't lock me out? Wow. You changing the garage openers, the locks, and everything.
I am. I'm not changing the locks on you. I'm changing the locks on anybody that's got a key. And I don't know who else have a key.
Come here for a minute. You gonna call the police on me?
No, I'm not.
Hello? Don't play me right now.
What is going on with you?
Why are you changing all this stuff around here?
Because it's for my safety.
You kept the same locks on these houses when the original owners owned the house.
I did. Oh, I couldn't find anyone that would do it.
I changed everything in this house.
Okay, all right. Well, then why didn't you change them, Apollo?
Every money, every piece of dime I put in this house is right here in the bucket.
Okay.
Everything. Every hinge, every door screw, every spot that needs to be in the house, every door.
Okay.
I might leave you with nothing because I built this whole house. Since you want to talk to me? This is my
Okay.
I told you stop playing with me.
You're acting crazy, not me.
You want to change on me? You're changing
No. You better come get him. Because I don't want to call the police on him. Just come get him, Don.
So we're gonna just see the kids.
He's seen his kids.
You seen them already?
Yes, all he's doing is mess with me, and I will call the
I have to
police.
report? I have 72 hours to report from the date they gave it to me.
You gonna go to this?
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you,
situation.
I don't know what your situation is. You running from the law too, child?
No. I ain't running from nobody.
He is not thinking about his kids.
Okay.
So you need not get yourself in trouble. You need to get your little buddy and get the hell out of here.
Okay.
I just don't want no problems with Apollo.
Okay.
And you know he's crazy.
Let's go. No, I'm good.
Fix it, Jesus. Deliverance, Lord.
Was I violent towards you? No, of course not.
Okay, Apollo.
Of course not.
Okay.
But it's crazy that you have someone over here doing all this.
Just as crazy as a road lizard. I don't know what's going on with Apollo. It seems like he just got a death wish or something. Hopefully they catch him, or hopefully he says enough to turn himself in for the marshal, shoot him down like a dog. Paul, I'm sorry you had to hear that foolish outburst. Oh, Jesus, is this him again?
You want to change on me? You playing with me? You changing?
want to get him. I don't want to call the police, but I will.
Stop playing with me, Phaedra.
Please, go away from me with this.
Okay.
Go away from me. Stop it, Apollo. I don't want to hear what you got to say. Stop it.
Listen to me for 1 second.
Well, you need to start acting like you got good sense. What in the world is he doing? I'm really not sure what he's capable of. Let his friend get him.
Young man, if you borrow my stuff or use my stuff, please put it back.
Apollo, I don't want you to get in any trouble.
Will I have my key?
Apollo, I might not even be here when you come back.
You're not sure?
The best
So you're gonna
wishes.
leave? You're leaving me? But you've always left me. You left me for my sentencing.
Yeah.
You left me when I was supposed to record.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm praying for you, though.
you pray for me.
I sure am.
You should. You took everything from me.
Did I, baby?
You should pray for me.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you mail me my key and my fob.
All right.
You know, you got all these people brainwashed. That's terrible. Make sure you do what's right and have what's available to me when I come home, please.
Okay. Now, Bun, don't let him come back, because the police is going to come and get him now.
As you can see, Mr. Snyder eventually left the premises, and everyone was safe and unharmed, apparently, in that scene. Now, this next clip that you're about to be privy to is Apollo's alleged side chick or mistress who shows up and meets his, close associates and associates of his, at that time, still wife. Everyone seems kind of shocked because she just shows up very boldly, very confidently, and that's not unusual behavior. I would go as far as to say that should be expected, because if you're involved with a suspected or perhaps alleged narcopath or sociopath, whatever the case may be, I'm not diagnosing him, but I'm just saying that such persons would tell you that they are done with the wife. The wife is doing this, all these horrible things to them, all these negative behaviors, actions to them, hiding money from them. And the thing is that they're the ones actually who are doing those things to the ex or to the target or to the person being devalued and discarded. They're the ones who perhaps are the main cause to the effect of the relationship breaking up, hence in this case the divorce. So of course she's going to walk in confidently and not wanting to go into details of their relationship because he perhaps informed her and requested that she did not. Let's keep it private between you and I don't like people in my business, because he don't want to be further exposed, being that he's beginning his 8-year sentence at that time. It is very dramatic, and it is something that you see the women in the film just sort of like wanting to scoop up and just stick to and get the tea, so to speak. So that's what you're about to see in this next clip.
You're going to be flooded. You're going to make money.
Hope so.
Nah, don't hope so. It is what it is,
Hey, are you Todd?
I am Todd.
I'm Shireen, Apollo's girlfriend.
Oh my God.
Oh!
Hey!
Yeah, that's crazy. He said you might come support or whatever.
Boom! I'm here.
Oh my God. Here comes trouble. I didn't know she was really gonna come. Now what am I supposed to do with this chick? I don't want no problems.
He was like, I wish I was there, to support Todd. He's been so supportive. So, I'm here.
How did you and Apollo meet? He said like good friends. I don't know the full story.
We found love. Put it that way.
Let me take you on a tour.
Let's do it.
All right, come on.
Introduce her to
Chanel.
your wife.
So did y'all enjoy everything? I can tell the way you ate 3 or 4 of those banana puddings.
Hey, I have someone I want to introduce you guys to.
Hello, hello. Hello.
This right here, this is Shireen Nida.
What?
Soon to be Miss Nida. This is Apollo's girlfriend.
Nice to meet you, ladies.
She came to represent Apollo, because Apollo couldn't be here.
Oh. Ty, you need to switch me. You know I'm hard of hearing, Ty. I need to get all this tea.
Now, in the very last clip, she was not wearing a ring at the time that she was considering herself his fiance. And I think it was on Instagram that she had posted, like I had said before, a paper towel ring. Who knows? It may have all just been in jest, but I've never seen a post, or there's not been a source that has reported or shown photos or videos of posts where she's actually wearing a ring, whether it's diamond, cubic zirconium, whatever it would be. So, as related to this platform, I don't know. I feel like it matters because that shows you how well Mr. Nida is able to, do what he wants to and get what he wants and persuade who he needs to persuade or influence. So either she is desperate, one, A, or B, it doesn't really matter to her, which is what I would consider unusual, particularly someone who is now well known, connected to this infamous personality, Mr. Apollo Nida. But who knows? He may have had plans to do that for her, to get her that ring after he was released, but now he's back in prison and looking forward to another release date, and we'll have to wait and see what happens at that time. Until then, stay tuned. Hope you were informed and entertained. Subscribe, share the link to this video, and thumbs up the video. Bye-bye.